on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made these beautiful, plump, smoky, red, all beef sausage. Coming up! Down here in Texas, we're in the land of beef, where brisket is king on every barbecue menu. But where there's brisket, there's always brisket trim. There's many things you can do with the extra brisket trimmings. You can make burgers, you can make chili, or the most popular thing to do is to make beef sausage. And that's what we're gonna do today, and it is going to be delicious. Believe it or not, I actually don't have any brisket trim on hand right now. So instead, I went to the store and I bought this. This is half of a brisket. And it just so happens to be the point half, which is the fattiest part of the brisket, so it should work out to a perfect meat to fat ratio. But I'm gonna stick this in the freezer for a little bit to get chilled down so it grinds up a little bit easier. While we wait for our meat to chill down a little bit, let's get our seasoning mixed together. To my 5 pounds of brisket, I'm going to add 2% of that weight in kosher salt. In my previous sausage making video, I used pink salt in my spice mix, and that's because pork is a little bit less safe at lower temperatures. Also, we cured the meat overnight to help the texture and add a nice cure flavor to it. But taking 3 days to make sausage is kind of a pain in the butt, and sausage making is already pretty tricky. So today we're gonna make this recipe all in one sitting, so it's gonna be a lot easier for all you sausage making newbies out there. Next up, gotta go with some black pepper, of course. We are in Texas after all. At this point, you can go in pretty much any direction you wanna go in. I'm gonna go with my go-to sausage ingredients. I always do a little bit of garlic powder and some mustard powder. I feel like those flavors work well in pretty much any sausage and have always worked well for me. Next up, I'm gonna add some paprika. That's gonna help with the color because I'm trying to go for a little bit of an homage to the Texas hot link or the hot gut sausage. So we're gonna add a good amount of cayenne as well. We're gonna make this pretty spicy, not too bad. And we're also gonna add in a little bit of turmeric. That's just gonna help the color because I kind of like the way the orange grease looks coming out of the sausage. And that's it. Salt, pepper, spices. This is gonna be a super tasty sausage. One last thing we're gonna add to this spice mix is a sausage binder. Very common in sausage making. Basically what a binder does is add extra protein to your sausage. The protein is gonna create a protein structure that's gonna help emulsify the meats, waters, and fats all together and give you that really nice, firm, snappy texture that you're looking for, as well as greatly helping in water retention. So if your links are getting kind of crumbly and drying out on you, maybe leaching out a lot of fat, I highly recommend giving a sausage binder a try. There's a few different types of sausage binders out there. There's soy-based binders, dairy-based binders. There's some that are made from carrot proteins, I think. But the most common one you're gonna run into is milk powder. Very easy. Got this right off the shelf. It's just instant dry milk, and that's got enough protein in it to really help this sausage along. So, general rule of thumb is 3 or 4% of the weight of your total batch going in. So we're gonna do that today. I'm going with 4% of the total weight today of this milk powder. Woohoo, windy. This is another great tip for anyone that's new to making sausage. The binder is gonna really help make this sausage a little more bulletproof and harder to mess up. Another great thing about adding a binder is that it adds weight. For this 5-pound batch, we're gonna add 10% water, 4% binder, plus all the spices, so it's also gonna help increase our yield. Always keep your sausage grinding stuff cold. We are simply going to cut this brisket up into strips that are the size of this hole so we can get this thing ground up. Again, I'm using the fatty portion of a brisket. If you were gonna do this with other meats, try and aim for a ratio of 70-30. Kind of rolling the dice with this one, but this cut's pretty fatty and it's got a good fat cap on it, so should work out just fine. Man, I hope there's not as many flies this time. Last sausage video, they were rampant. Yeah, there's a good amount of fat in there. Now we're simply going to send it through the grinder. I'm using the coarse die on the grinder today. And as always, I will have exact recipes in the description for the spices of this sausage, as well as links for this grinder, that knife, this table, everything. Well, not this table, but this cutting board. Yep, that is looking nice and fatty. Perfect. Looks good to me. Now we are gonna add our salt, our seasoning, our binders, and our liquid. Mix all of this in really quick. And then it's time to add our liquid. Typically I like to use ice, But today I wanted to do something with a little bit more flavor, so I'm adding some sodium-free beef stock. Actually, I think this is beef broth. I wish I made it myself. I didn't, but we're just gonna add that in. I did 10% of the total weight. Get a little extra beefy flavor. All right, now that everything's incorporated, I'm gonna send this back through the grinder one more time. If I had thought about it ahead of time, I probably would have frozen the beef stock into little beef ice cubes. But again, we're trying to make a quick and easy recipe here. What a beautiful day. Loving this fall weather right now. Oh, it was a hot summer. Last time I made sausage out here, whew, it was a scorcher. And I'm going through the coarse die again. If you wanted a tighter texture, you could go through the smaller die the second time, or both times if you wanted to get it closer to one of those store-bought links. But double grind through the big die works great for me. Here we go. Now I'm gonna go through and just mix this up, make sure it's nice and tacky, but the double grind usually takes care of that pretty well, because the mixing process also releases protein structures and enzymes and whatnot that help bond your sausage together. If you were gonna do this mechanically with a big mixing machine or a stand mixer or something, you could really mix the hell out of it and get some quality protein bonds. But if you're going by hand, adding the binder will take care of most of your problems. But that's looking pretty good. If you can pick up a clump and it doesn't fall apart, yep, that's gonna make a good sausage. Sticking to the hand, perfect. All right, folks, you know the drill from here. Sausage goes into the old stuffer, and we are gonna case this up. Going with the standard sized hog casing for this. Ooh. You can get these online. You can get them at most grocery stores if you check like the ham or the bacon section, or you can go to your local butcher shop. That's probably the best way to go about it. But I just got some water in the casing. I'm just kind of flushing it through to help make sure it's open. It'll let me know if there's any holes in the casing itself. Beep. Tie a nice little nutty knot at the end, and then we can start linking. For this beef sausage, I'm gonna do some good old-fashioned links. There's a few different ways to go about that. You can make a big loose rope and then go around and twist each one of them off, but that creates a lot of air pockets, and then you have to prick your sausage, and then it tends to leak out while you're cooking it. So for me, oh man, I popped one. Dang it. So for me, I like to go through and case each link individually. That lets me know that it's as tight as it needs to be. You can go link by link like this, or leave them all connected. Create a link, however big you like it. Give it a twist, make another one. Twist in the opposite direction. Make a link again. And so on and so forth. And again, there's many different techniques for casing sausage, but the main goal here is just to keep pressure on the casing itself, because if you were to just let it go, it would fly off too quick. So it's the speed at which the meat comes out that's really going to give you the nice plump casing. So I'm just holding it here and watching it fill up, and if you go too tight, you'll pop it. For new people, I always tell them to start out, just pop it. That way you know exactly what the tension is for how taut you can make it, and then try and aim for as close to that as possible. That way every link is nicely taut. But take your time with it. If you're only doing a 5-pound batch like this, it's not gonna take very long to case, so you can really make sure each link is perfect. But there we have it, some beautiful beef sausage links. Out of the 5-pound chunk of brisket I bought, I got 11 links of sausage. Nice looking links. So, in a perfect world, I would now take this time to put these in the fridge uncovered, ideally hanging. That way the skins could dry out, shrink up a little bit, add a nice pellicle to the outside so smoke adheres to them a little bit better, but we're not gonna do that today because I don't feel like it. So, we're gonna throw these right on the pit. Woohoo! Ow! You ever melt plastic to your fingers? That seems like a feature that needs to be fixed. Chud chimney starter, coming soon. We're gonna start off with one little log and see what temps we get. For these beef links, we are going to cold smoke these today. And when I say cold smoke, I don't mean a true cold smoke, which is, you know, sub 90 degrees for days at a time. I'm doing a relatively cold smoke. We'll call it a warm smoke. Basically, I'm gonna try and keep the temperature between 100 and 150 degrees, but no hotter than that. What that's gonna do is allow smoke to penetrate these links, the skins to dry out a bit, to give us some really nice flavor and color, but not hot enough that the fat is gonna render. That way we can cook them for a good 4 hours without leaching out any of the fat, get that beautiful snappy texture and that wonderful red color. I just threw a pretty big dense log on there, just one, and that's gonna smoke and smolder away on that tiny little coal bed, and that should give us a beautiful temperature right around 125, 130 degrees for the next 3-4 hours. 2 hours into this smoke, and these little buddies are looking real nice. Got some really nice color on there. The casing's starting to feel really dry. This is when I usually go in and flip them, and while I'm at it, I'm also gonna snip them into individual links. Now that the casings have cooked a bit, these ends are sealed. Just gonna go through and clean these little weenies up, because, as you know, everybody loves a clean wiener. Nice and plump, nice and plump, plump. Looking good, boys. Right at hour 3.5. I'm thinking that these smoky little wieners are done. Ooh, very nice color. That is a good looking link of sausage to me. So let's pull them off. Always clean your wieners, folks. Show a little damn respect. Very nice. At this stage in the cook, these are ready to go into the fridge. If you are gonna vac seal them and save them or gift them to a friend, now is the time to do it. These vac seal up really nice handmade smoked beef links. So to get these fully cooked and ready for consumption, we're gonna bump this fire up to about 275 degrees, and we're gonna cook these for another, I don't know, probably 20-30 minutes, just until they reach an internal temperature of around 150, 160, get that fat melting down, and make sure everything is cooked through. About, I don't know, 25 minutes later, cooking at up near 300 degrees, and these bad boys are done. They are incredibly firm, nice and plump. Come on, tell me you don't want to take a snappy bite of one of these links. I do. Tortilla time. Let's see how these links came out. Ooh, that's got some kick to it. That is delicious. Nice and beefy. Texture is right there. Ooh. It's got some heat to it. Highly recommend this sausage recipe. Nice and snappy, really good color to it. Super juicy too. Boop, boop. Ooh, best drizz in the biz, folks. Leroy & Lewis Beet Barbecue Sauce. On sale now at LeroyandLewisBBQ.com. The only thing better than a homemade beef sausage is a homemade beef sausage on a homemade beef fat tortilla. Who doesn't love a sausage wrap? Ha 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 ha. Ooh, that's real good with the mustard. Best part of the tortilla. Absorbs all the grease. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is my version of how to make homemade beef sausage. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. It helps me out so much. But if you give this recipe a try for yourself, hit me up on Instagram at ChudsBBQ. I love to see what y'all are cooking. Also, let me know in the comments down below what you want to see me cook next. Head over to ChudsBBQ.com for all pit inquiries, wait lists, pricing, all that good stuff. The tortilla press will be on there very shortly. Exact amounts and ingredients and the recipe and all that good stuff will be in the description down below, as well as a list of all the equipment I used in this video and all my other videos. They are affiliate links, so if you click on them, it really helps me out, supports the channel. Head over to LeroyandLewis.com and order yourself some beet barbecue sauce, and until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace!